There's a version of the Belgian Malinois that everyone sees on the internet, sleek, powerful, obedient, jumping over walls, attacking on command, saving lives in war zones. That's the Malinois they show you. But there's another version, a side you don't see in the flashy videos or polished Instagram posts. The side they don't talk about. The version of the Malinois that breaks people, that tests relationships, that pushes even the most devoted dog lovers to the edge of exhaustion, and sometimes beyond. And if you're thinking about bringing one into your home, you need to know the truth. Because the Belgian Malinois isn't just a dog. It's a storm wrapped in fur. And no one warns you how hard it hits until you're already standing in the rain. Let me show you the Malinois they don't want you to know about. It starts like this. You see one in a video, muscles flexed, eyes sharp, flying through an obstacle course like a four-legged missile. You're impressed. Who wouldn't be? You start watching more. You hear about their intelligence, their loyalty, their military background. You think, I want a dog like that. And here's the first trap. Because what you're seeing isn't a pet. It's a professionally trained working dog with thousands of hours of conditioning. But breeders and influencers won't tell you that. They'll tell you it's all about love, leadership, and early training. And while that's part of the story, it's not enough. Not even close. Because the Malinois isn't just smart. It's obsessively intelligent. It doesn't learn commands. It analyzes your patterns. It studies your body language. It anticipates your routines. And if you don't keep up, it won't wait for you. The Malinois you bring home at 8 weeks old is cute, yes. But what's living inside that puppy is a tactical, reactive, fast twitch machine that never, ever powers down. Not even in sleep. Most dogs wind down at night. A tired Malinois just lies still. Eyes half open, ears twitching. Waiting. Watching. Calculating. You see, nobody warns you that owning a Malinois means becoming a full-time strategist. You don't just play with them, you manage them. You don't just teach them, you constantly outsmart them. And the moment you relax, the moment you let your guard down, that's when the behavior starts. The circling, the pacing, the frustrated whining that turns into barking, then into destruction, then into obsession. The Malinois doesn't ask for stimulation, it demands it. And if it doesn't get what it needs, it will build its own version of the job it thinks it's supposed to do. That's how you end up with a dog herding your children into corners and growling if they move. That's how you get windows scratched raw, furniture shredded, baseboards chewed, carpets dug up, not because they're bad, but because they need an outlet and you didn't give them one. But here's the darkest part. Even when you do everything right, even when you give them the exercise, the obedience, the structure, it still might not be enough. Because this dog wasn't designed for your backyard. It was built for battlefields, for helicopters, for storming buildings and chasing suspects across rooftops. That's the operating system running underneath that beautiful coat and laser-focused stare. And if you don't give it a mission, it will find one. That might mean targeting your other pets, your guests, even your kids. It might mean snapping at noises that don't exist, or chasing shadows across the floor like prey. Because the Malinois doesn't get tired, it gets more efficient. And that efficiency becomes danger in the wrong environment. Now, Lace, let me ask you something. Are you ready for that? Not just the training, but the mental warfare. Because this dog will test you in ways that other breeds can't. It'll make you question if you're strong enough, patient enough, focused enough. It'll mirror your emotions back to you, faster, sharper, more extreme. If you're anxious, it gets wired. If you're distracted, it takes over. And if you show weakness, it doesn't hesitate. Because deep down, this isn't a cuddly family companion. It's a weapon. And if you don't control it, someone else will pay the price. But here's the contradiction. When you do earn their trust, when you do become their leader, you unlock a level of loyalty that's almost overwhelming. They won't just follow you, they'll fuse with you. They'll match your breath, your footsteps, your emotional state. They'll sleep by your bed like a sentry. They'll watch the door while you shower. They'll pace the house at night when you're stressed, because they feel it too. That bond is why so many people fall in love with the Malinois. It's intoxicating, addictive, and sometimes blinding. Because that same bond can make you tolerate things you shouldn't, like chronic overstimulation, or protectiveness that turns into possessiveness, or working drive that turns into obsessive-compulsive behaviors. We tell ourselves, it's just how they are. But that's the problem. We normalize the dysfunction. Because no one warned us how difficult this breed really is. You'll hear people say, It's just like owning a German Shepherd, right? Wrong. A Shepherd will challenge you. A Malinois will break you if you're not prepared. It's like comparing a race car to a street vehicle. Both have engines. But one was made to take corners at 200 miles per hour. And if you try to drive that on regular roads without the skill set, you crash. So let me ask again, are you ready for the Malinois they don't want you to know about? The one that won't sit still for longer than 10 seconds. The one that needs 3 different kinds of stimulation before 10 a.m. The one that learns how to open your fridge, unlock the gate, and remove its own collar just because it got bored? Because those aren't outliers. That is the breed. And the sooner people stop romanticizing it, the safer dogs and owners will be. Now here's the part they never include in the training videos. The emotional toll, the exhaustion, the guilt, the feeling that you're not doing enough, no matter how hard you try. Because deep down, a lot of Malinois owners are silently drowning. They won't say it out loud because they don't want to seem weak. But behind closed doors, they're Googling Malinois rescue, how to rehome a Belgian Malinois, or did I make a mistake getting this dog? And some of them quietly give up. They hand the dog over, or worse, leave it in a shelter. That's what happens when people meet the version of this breed no one warned them about. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are people who make it work, who thrive with a Malinois. But not because they're dog lovers, because they're dog athletes. Mentally tough, disciplined, relentless. They don't just train, they build a lifestyle around the dog. They give it work. Structure, meaning. They treat it like a Navy SEAL in a fur coat, because that's exactly what it is. If you're not willing to commit to that, don't get a Malinois. There are other breeds that will love you without destroying your life. And if you already have one and you're struggling, it's not too late. But you have to change your mindset. Stop trying to calm them down. Start giving them a job, a real one. Think daily obedience drills, agility, scent work, tracking, retrieval, obstacle courses, problem-solving puzzles, and long-distance commands under distraction. And more importantly, stop expecting them to act like a normal dog. Because they're not. They were never meant to be. You don't adopt a Formula One car and then get frustrated it doesn't idle like a Toyota. You either learn how to drive it, or you give the keys to someone who can. And if you're watching this and realizing, that's me, I wasn't prepared, that's okay. Acknowledging the truth is the first step toward being the owner your Malinois needs, not the one the internet told you to be. So what's next? If you're still listening, it means you're either deeply invested in this breed or you're about to be. Either way, you now know what most people don't. You've seen behind the curtain. And if you're ready for the version of the Malinois no one warns you about, the one that demands more, pushes harder, loves deeper, then you're not just an owner. You're a handler, a protector, a partner. And for a dog like this, that's the only kind of human who truly deserves them. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear the real story. And if you're brave enough to take this journey, subscribe. Because we'll be diving deeper into the psychology, training, and raw truths of Belgian Malinois ownership. No fluff, no filters. Just what you need to know to survive and thrive.